on than others to try to get your car good today?
Yeah, absolutely, Andy. I think up and down pit road, if you asked everybody the same question, they'd probably say turn 2 has been a little bit tricky. Just getting forward bite actually at a big racetrack like this is kind of a challenge. You don't really think about it, but pretty unique to California, and we've certainly put a lot of emphasis on it here today for the Verizon Dodge.
Okay, Chad, we'll keep it on you guys. Good luck today. Thanks for talking to us.
No, thank you very much.
And that tail end comment you heard from Justin when we lost him there, he was talking about happy birthday to Roger Penske. He turns 73 years old today. Our over-the-wall reporter will be Sam Gibson. We'll talk about Sam in just a second, but let's also set up our other onboards. We got James Busher in the Nationwide Insurance on board. Danica Patrick, GoDaddy.com. We've already talked to our in-race reporter, Justin Allgaier. Kevin Harvick with Reen. And Carl Edwards with Copart. Stephen Wallace, 5-hour Energy Dodge. Trevor Bayne, who turned 19 just yesterday. More on that in a second. Mike Wallace in the Nationwide Insurance onboard camera. And we mentioned Sam Gibson there. Sam, with the view he's going to have. 9 years he's been in NASCAR. He'll be the front tire carrier for Greg Biffle's number 27. Thanks, Sam, for helping us out with that. Let's get the last-minute updates from pit road. Dave, you're up.
Well, Marty, this is a front row today that you simply cannot ignore. Joe Gibbs Racing, as an organization, has won the last 4 races here at the California Speedway in the Nationwide Series. And today, Joey Logano, the pole sitter, Kyle Busch to his outside, they've got another great shot at it. In fact, as you go around the garage and you pick up notes from the other crew chiefs that are trying to beat them today, it's always a comparison. Well, we're pretty good, but we're still working on speed to try to catch the 20 and the 18. Dr. Punch?
Thank you, Dave. No doubt the 2 Joe Gibbs cars are the co-favorites here today because of their recent history at this racetrack. But give a call and keep an eye on the 2 cars for Rusty Wallace Racing. Why? Because of the technical alliance between Rusty Wallace Racing and Joe Gibbs. What does that mean? That means that the bodies on top of Stephen Wallace's and Brendan Gaughan's cars today, the Toyota Camrys, were prepared by Joe Gibbs Racing, which is very important on a downforce track. And maybe this team that's really paid its dues will finally be rewarded here today. Vince?
Well, Doc, if there's any team that can beat this Gibbs group today, it may be this 27 team with driver Greg Biffle. You know, Biffle's won here 3 times before. He was fastest in the final practice and qualified 5th, even though he said he didn't push it in qualifying. Crew Chief Ricky Viers says Biffle knows exactly what he wants at this racetrack, and they're going to give it to him. The big question is, if Biffle gets what he wants today, will it be enough to beat the favorites? Jamie Little?
Well, it certainly has been a media blitz for Danica Patrick this week in Los Angeles. She appeared on multiple shows, including the Ellen DeGeneres show and Jimmy Kimmel. But the media part is the easy part for Danica. The hard thing today is going to be racing 300 miles here at California. You ask any NASCAR driver and they will tell you this is hands down one of the hardest tracks to learn on and to race at. That has been the case this weekend. She still does not feel comfortable in that race car, so she has a lot to learn today. It's going to be a long day for Miss Danica Patrick. Marty?
All right, thanks, Jamie. Pace car just about ready to turn down pit road, and it'll be Logano and Busch leading them down for the 3rd time that they have swept the front row. Logano won the last 2 of those front row sweeps. Heading down towards the front straightaway. 43 cars as the second race of the 2010 NASCAR Nationwide Series is green. One of the great things about this racetrack, 75 feet wide, plenty of room to maneuver, and then down into turn number 3, and already it's Joey Logano and Kyle trying to check out.
Yeah, but you see Greg Biffle going right to work now, trying to chase him down. Here we got him 3 wide coming off 4.
Vickers going underneath the 60.
Yeah, we're going to see this all day long, trying to get a run on that high side. Sometimes you got to make sure that you know that guy's out there before you pinch him into the wall.
Logano and Kyle Busch have opened up a half a second lead over 3rd place Greg Biffle. Brian Scott is 4th. Harvick is 5th. Justin Allgaier, who started 15th, is already trying to push his way up. He's picked up 1 spot to 14th, and we go on board with Stephen Wallace. Looks like he and Brendan Gaughan, teammates, have hooked up there for a little bit.
Yeah, this is exactly what Dr. Jerry Punch was just talking about. These guys have a lot of momentum coming here and really believe that their alliance with Joe Gibbs Racing is going to help their program at places like this.
Battle for 5th place right now. That is the 32 of Vickers. Kevin Harvick in the 33 on the high side. You heard the guys in the pre-race talking about the fact that Harvick from Bakersfield has never won here at this track.
Yeah, at Harvick Incorporated, they do such a good job with their cars. They went to Daytona last week, had the best 2 cars win the race with Tony Stewart. They've got a little work left to do on these kind of racetracks, but Kevin looks like he's got a good car today.
Already got our first starting park. John Borneman has taken the 83 behind the wall. Right now, Harvick going to take the low line. That 10 car is driven by David Rudiman. He was in that same car here last year. Really moved up early in the race. Then things sort of settled down for him. Didn't go as well as he wanted. Danica right now started 36, dropped back to 41st. And you can see she's losing time to the race leaders.
Well, this is about, once again, getting laps here today and figuring out what she can and can't do with her car, what the racetrack's going to do. She just needs to be out there all day.
All right, I'm sure somebody's out there, Andy, saying, well, is this intentional?
Well, I mean, yeah, it could be intentional to be running just to be conservative at the beginning of the race, but she's losing too much ground right now. She's at the back of the field, and she's kind of lost touch even with the back of the field. So I think they need to be coaching her on the line and trying to, steadily get her up to speed here so she doesn't go a lap down too early here.
Well, Justin Allgaier and Stephen Wallace got a nice little battle going on right there with the 99 of Trevor Bayne right in front of him. Bayne is 12th, Allgaier 13th, Wallace 14th.
Yeah, a lot of good young talent right there in that group of cars. Kind of the face of this nationwide series in years to come, for sure.
Can also tell you now that Dennis Setzer has pulled it off the track. So looks like he's heading for the garage as a start and park. Saw the little hand gesture by Brad Keselowski to Carl Edwards right behind him. There are the 2 race leaders. Their margin has narrowed a little bit now. It's down to 0.2 of a second. Back to 3rd place, Greg Biffle.
Sometimes you set that car on the ball, and I think we brought this up some last year at these type of tracks, Andy. You beat the field by 0.3 of a second. It might mean you've got that car a little bit on the tight side, and as you get some laps, and we see Kyle Busch running him down here now, the car might start pushing a little bit.
That does seem to be a trade-off there. If you get your car really perfect for qualifying, for that good fast lap, it's not necessarily perfect for racing. When these cars get or tires actually get a lot of laps on them, you need the car to be a little freer.
Let's drop back a little bit to the 5th place battle. You can see Vickers trying to put the pressure on Kevin Harvick. And right behind is 3 other cars, including David Rudiman, the 22 of Brad Keselowski, and the 60 of Carl Edwards. Carl told us in qualifying, he said, I've got the best car we've ever had here. We still just don't know if it's enough to catch those 2 Gibbs cars.
There's still a long way to go, but so far they haven't closed the gap too much on the Gibbs cars.
You can see Carl really working the high side of the racetrack here, trying to keep that momentum up, keep the RPMs up. He'll get back to the gas, try to continue this. See Keselowski getting loose right in front of him there. Carl having to get out of the throttle.
Saw Brad at qualifying mentioned the fact that Dodge hadn't won since 07. I said, is there some kind of bonus program? He says, yeah, if I win, I get to drive next week. On board with James Buescher right now in 10th. And boy, coming off a great run at Daytona just 1 week ago where he finished 8th, qualified 9th here.
Been watching Kyle Busch. He's trying to change the lineup just a little bit now. I think he feels like he probably has a faster car than Joey at this point. He can't quite get by him, so he's changed his lineup. He was a little higher off of turn 2, trying to get some momentum. Now we see him trying to work the bottom of the racetrack, and he's going to get it done right here.
Yeah, you can see all he needed was that little bit of air on the nose of that car. He was able to turn it down and take the lead away.
Where's it beating me? Center.
Yeah, just in 1 and 2, you're beating him just a tick and 3 and 4 off.
All right, so Joey's better in 3 and 4. He's better in 1 and 2.
Yeah, but they'll adjust on that 20 car. That's the one thing we've seen about Logano. He'll maybe not have the best car in the beginning of the race, but, buddy, when it comes down to the end, he's got his car right.
And look at Kyle starting to open it up. Here comes Justin Allgaier. He is taking on Townley for 12th position. Townley had himself a nice qualifying effort as he qualified that car 6th, but is starting to back up.
Yeah, and we asked the question, could Justin Allgaier and his team